Zinedine Zidane, he's often seen as somebody who doesn't tinker tactically, whatever. He went with something different. He brought Sergio Ramos back in. Yeah. That was essentially, you were there, you saw it. It was essentially in a back three with Mondi. An asymmetrical back three if you want, but Ferland, Mondi, and Vinicius on the right, Benzema and Hazard up front, and then it might turn into more of a 3-4-3 or whatever. It didn't work.
Didn't work at all. And is it because Sergio Ramos could not play on his own in a back four? Because that was only his fourth game in 2021. He's literally just came back from injury because of his age. Do you think that maybe could have played a part in the sense that, we would be too exposed if it's just Sergio Ramos and Eder Militao, or Sergio Ramos and Nacho, for example? So hence the back three.
I think that is a part of it, because you want to have Sergio Ramos on the pitch for the intangibles. Now, my friends in analytics say there's no such thing as intangibles. Yeah, but, the reality is you're Zidane, you've been there. The guy is a warrior and a winner. He can pop up for you for a goal. He's done it many times in the past. He brings leadership. But equally, you're aware, right now, he's not in the physical condition to play in a two against Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. Against runners.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when you need to chase the game.
But then don't play him then maybe, because that back three was never going to work, Gab. Not against a team like this. So apart from the movement and the lack of movement that we explained before, even just to try to go and get the ball back from Chelsea, try to press. Look at the first goal. The first goal, they are all over the place defensively. The back line is not even, it's a back, but there's no line, okay? The midfield, they're all over the place as well. They're beaten too easily. It's a simple 1-2. It's Kante with just a turn and a really good first touch, but just a turn, then a 1-2, and then it's too quick for them. So it's not even just with the ball, they lack creativity and movement and intensity. Okay, no problem. But it's that he tried something defensively, or certainly in terms of organization, that backfired completely, because either they didn't really know what to do, but they certainly were never structurally organized enough to be able to cope with the way Chelsea were playing, the way they built from the back, the way they came out of the back. How many times they tried to press? It was too easy for Chelsea, far too easy from start to finish.
This is not a team that's suited to pressing the opposition in any way, because obviously Benzema will do it. Eden Hazard just doesn't have the legs or the mindset of it. In fact, even when he was fit at Chelsea, he didn't have the mindset for it. You've got Modric and Kroos. You don't want them chasing people around. So I think inevitably they were going to be in a situation where if they lost the ball, it was almost like a game of basketball, where if they lost the ball, we're not going to press you high, you come back at us, we'll try to deal with it that way. It didn't work. I do wonder if maybe this wouldn't have been a game. We've talked about the idea of Fede Valverde at wing back. If you're going to do that, maybe he would give you more of that energy down the right. Obviously it's not his natural position. But then you can't play with 12 players, and then you feel like you need Vinicius because he's got the genuine pace. And then Hazard, you have the emotion of coming back.
I don't know. For
6
example,
of one, half dozen of another.
I know, but look at Hazard, and again we talked about his position, wrong call. Okay. You leave him on the pitch until the 80th minute or something, and at no point you try to change his position. You can see it's not working. You can see he's got Rudiger, again, the whole world on his back. He can't do anything. Move him wide. You bring in on Asensio, and you bring on Valverde to play on the other side. You keep your back three again, at least. Even if Sergio Ramos cannot play in a back four on two on his own, you've got nothing to lose anyway. I know you were 1-0 down, so you could still, I guess, get a goal and get into extra time. But why don't you try it? But certainly move Hazard wide. That was not doing him any service, the team any service either. And I just thought it was such a big game for Zidane. And we've said he's improved tactically as a coach. He had been brilliant at times this season in the way they played against Liverpool. Although if you're Jurgen Klopp watching the game last night, do you think again about the Naby Keita experiment and those 40 minutes that he played? Because, this was not a good Real Madrid team. But I thought Zidane got it wrong at the start of the game and then throughout the whole game with his coaching. And I'm sad because you know how much I love him.
My friend who used to work at Real Madrid and is a huge Real Madrid fan texted me and said, at the hour mark, he's like, okay, time to move Sergio Ramos to center forward. Go to a back four. Just do it that way. Just have him up there just to create chaos and wait what happens.
Do you think this is it for Zidane? I asked him the question after the game, and he said, you know what, I haven't thought about it. We've got 4 games to play. He was never going to say anything different, but he said, we've got 4 games in La Liga, we can win it.
He's right. It can't be it for
But he's not going to be there next season. You know what, he looked tired yesterday, I thought.
I don't think Florentino Perez is going to sack Zinedine Zidane. I don't think there's any chance. It's possible that Zinedine Zidane says, okay, rebuild, see where we are, let me step aside. But I cannot imagine Florentino.
No, maybe you're right.
I mean, it just, look.
You don't feel that he feels like the end of that era, of that chapter, you know, and isn't it, let me put it this way to you. You have to do such a big overhaul of this squad. But Zidane is so much attached personally, emotionally to a lot of those players that it might be too hard for him to say, okay, Luca, you know, you've been great. We've been great together. We've won 4 Champions League. We did this. We won 2 titles. But now it's time for you to go. Same with Sergio Ramos. Same with, I don't know. You see what I mean? Wouldn't it be easier if you bring someone else, someone new, someone who doesn't have that sort of intimate relationship almost with some of them to say, you know what, it's time for you to go.
I see that argument where I'm not 100% on, you know, we can sit here and say we need to do the big overhaul, but, and I hate to bring up COVID and transfer market window and then what else, but in losses, I'm not sure it can happen this summer because already Florentino said in one of his stupid TV appearances where he made no sense, but he said, you know, the Modric's contract had been extended or was going to be extended. So Modric is going to be back. Kroos is going to be back. Benzema is going to be back. Where are you going to get all the money for this overhaul in this situation right now?
Well,
I wonder if maybe, you know, we talk about the size of the overhaul, right? But just quickly run through this, and we'll go this. I'm sure we'll have this many times in the summer. But when you think about it, right, Courtois is back.
Yeah.
Dani Carvajal, you'll get another season out of, and Lucas Vazquez can play right back, as we've discovered. And I think that's one of the upsides.
He's probably going to go. Lucas Vazquez, out of contract.
That is one guy you might want to extend because of his versatility. He's not going to cost you very much. But that is a good point about Lucas Vazquez. Militao, you found out, can play a little bit. You've got Alaba coming in. You have Varane. Even if you don't extend Ramos,
Varane,
you got Nacho.
Varane wants to go.
Again, I know he wants to go. You know, I want to drive a Maserati. You don't always get what you want. He's still under contract, right?
Yeah, 1 year.
But you know, you can take your chances with that. Left back, you're fine.
Yeah.
Midfield, you're stuck with Modric and Kroos and Casemiro and Valverde. I don't think that's a horrible unit.
No.
You know, you maybe the Blanco looked okay. You know, maybe if you can bring in another body there. Further up the pitch, obviously Hazard's an issue, but you know, Benzema you'll get another year out of, even if you don't. We're putting to one side the go and sign Haaland or whatever. Vinicius showed he can play a little bit. Rodrigo. You know, at some point you have to have faith in these people.
Yeah, but they're also inconsistent, Gab. Rodrigo, Vinicius, Asensio.
Maybe that's the question. Maybe you have to ask yourself, can Zidane get the consistency? Can he get these people to stay fit and contribute regularly? Because when Asensio and Isco are on top of their game, they're really valuable contributors, right? And they can transition this team forward, and they're not that old. If you are going to go for the mega overhaul, that's going to be very expensive. But hey, don't worry, Gareth Bale is back.
Yeah, true.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.